Hello everyone, hope you're doing okay. Yes, I'm about a minute late, maybe just lots of last minute faff and this, that and the other, but hope you're doing well. Yes, good to see you all. Good to see you, Alan. Oh my goodness, this looks interesting, yes. Goodness me, certainly does, honestly. Certainly does. Oh, goodness me, yeah. Certainly expensive as well for all these ones. I've got 7 of them basically. I got carried away, stupidly. Yeah, but there we go, but there we are. Should be really good. They look absolutely magical, really do. Hope you're keeping well. Good to see you, Lee. It's been a long time, Lee. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. New Galaxy clusters out soon. I'll have to look out for those. They sound very nice. Good naming as well, Galaxy Clusters. And Maltesers. I've heard there's Maltesers mini eggs coming out, which sound very interesting. And Alan thinks the same. Yes, does sound interesting. Alan's gone for the Biscoff, Cadbury Dairy Milk Biscoff look today. Good to see you, Alan. Good to see you, Lee. And Scotty, of course. Scotty's turned up, not in, I don't know, not in some random location around the country or the globe, in fact. Remember for once. Good to see you, Scotty. How are you doing? What's the chocolate situation like where you are? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get some smooth jazz going. Why not? Let's see if... and let's have a see. Hopefully it's not too loud. Fingers crossed it's okay. Let me know if it's a problem. Hopefully it's fine. But good to see you all. Good to see you, Lee, as well. It's been a long time, Lee. Glad you're doing well. Glad you're doing well. And yes, we've got Lay's Treats today. Those of you might remember Lay's Treats from the Easter special I did around Easter time, surprisingly enough. It was, basically they did lots of Easter eggs that were just filled with cake, basically. Ridiculous stuff. And they've done the same, but with... Well, they did the same then as well, but I didn't get them, basically. But I did the same with chocolate bars as well. Before I go for the... They did like a Halloween special, basically. Halloween special editions. They're sort of loosely Halloween focused. But of course, you have to buy them well in advance because they sell out very quickly. I don't think you can... At the moment, they're all sold out, basically. But you might be able to get them. You have to keep an eye on the website. The website's terrible, generally. It's one of those where... It's better than last time, though. I could actually buy them this time. They weren't just disappearing randomly. But one of those. So they are basically laystreets.com. So I'm not sponsored in any way, shape or form by them. I bought them for my own money. They don't know I'm reviewing them, things like this. But they are very indulgent. Just back from my travels. Take it easy today. Where did you go, Scotty? Where did you go? I heard about Maltesers butterscotch eggs. Yes. I know. It look quite interesting, don't they, really? But seem a bit... Why did not just Maltesers mini eggs? I don't know why they've had to add some flavour, but nonetheless, I'm not complaining. Not complaining. All right, so let's see where we're up to. So it's going to be very difficult. I'm not going to... Well, there's loads here. They're massively chunky bars. Here's one, for instance. Look at this. It's not a small bar. Goodness me. I mean, it looks very nice, though. Just ridiculous. Yeah, I could have saved these a bit closer towards... Halloween, but I'll probably do other things then as well. I wanted to do these in advance so people could potentially buy them because but yeah, look at it. I've got the scales, Alan, as well. I've got the scales, I saw you, wow, Alan. I saw you, wow. I've got the scales to be able to measure them. Well, we'll measure them as well, maybe. So yeah, but they're ridiculous. So I'm not going to eat too many of these. We can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you might have guessed from the title of the video, which is presumably 7 of these. Goodness me, 7. So, God, they're actually quite heavy. Must be over, I don't know, 2 kilograms or something. These. Let's see what we got here. We got Count's Mint Crunch, Pumpkin Spice, Death by Chocolate, Spooky Forest Gatto, Blueberry Delight, Witch's Brew, and Toffee Apple. Goodness me. Ridiculous. This, ridiculous. This has basically cost me more than the channel makes in 3 months, I think. But nonetheless, it's I will enjoy eating them, that's for sure. But there we go. I was in Hungary, Romania, Moldova. Oh, Transnistria. I don't know. Is that? It sounds like Transylvania type place. And one night in Istanbul between flights. These chocolate bars look pretty hefty. You could knock someone out with these, Scotty. You really could. Now I do have an extra camera. See if it's down here at the bottom. There we go. I might move that slightly because it's slightly going over the thing, but I don't know. Well, anyway, we'll see. We'll work it out. But basically, I do have a camera there, so we can perhaps weigh them. We can see them down here. So basically, if I lift up which Toffee Apple, which is brew, there you can see it's just slightly low. You can work it out presumably where I am. So I've got some scales here. Let's weigh one of them, shall we? Let's have a look if I can. There you go. So you might be able to see hopefully you can see the thing. Hopefully it works as well. Is it working? Yes, it is. They're all random, handmade and things like this. So we'll see. But yeah, these chocolate bars look hefty. Are these guys a small artisan? I think so, Alan. Yeah, they seem to they don't seem to have a proper shop. I don't know, when I looked at their address online, it just seems to go to a house. So I don't know whether, but they seem to make quite a lot. But it is one of those where they have limited stock basically. And I just randomly went on the website and saw they had some. Let's have a look. How much does it weigh? 239 grams, that one. Goodness me. So they're not gonna always be consistent, I imagine. 220. These are very, goodness me. This one feels lighter, this one. Yeah, 189, I think it's 189, yes. It's Booby Delight. Spooky Forest Gatto. 203. So they're roughly 200 grams, aren't they, each, basically. 195 for the Death by Chocolate. Pumpkin Spice. This one feels a bit heavier. 230, goodness me, yes. And the Count's Mint Crunch. It's 249, that's got the record. I think that's the heaviest one, the Count's Mint Crunch. 240, goodness me. Yeah, so they are very, very hefty, these ones. So what I'll probably do, let's see, for the whole weightage as a whole, I'm certainly not going to be eating all of these today. Got 1 kilogram. So 1.5 kgs of chocolate here. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. Transnistria is a breakaway state within Moldova. Oh yes, it does ring bells now you mention it. Well, hang on a sec, let me just remove the jiggery poke. And on the border of Ukraine, it's Russia-backed and not recognised. Yeah, I have heard of this place actually. I read about it a few months back. There's a Lenin statue, so a Russian choc in a supermarket. Interesting, yes, interesting. I've heard of this place. I remember, can't quite remember what I was reading up on about, but I do remember hearing about it. Yes, goodness me. Yeah. Well, do you have a nice time? What was it like there, Scotty? Do you have a good time? Hopefully, yeah. I'm sure you did. And what was the chocolate situation like? It's gonna be a shame to open these. I always don't like opening. You know, like you just feel like they're just so beautiful and nice and lovely. But we've got to do it. So it does have ingredients on the back. I think I'll just flash them up. I won't go over them. Maybe we'll go over one of them. Let's see. We'll go over Death by Chocolate. I think. Well, in fact, which one? Yeah, Spooky Edition. Forest Gatto. We'll do Death by Chocolate. I mean, you know, we've got to do Death by Chocolate. We'll just have a quick look at the back. Here's what you get. I think the left-hand side as you look will always be the same, I think. So, Layers Treats. We believe our chocolate are more than just a treat. They're little moments of joy, not little moments. Whether you're gifting them to someone special or saving them for yourself. Each bar deserves to be perfect. That's why every piece is handmade in small batches with love and care. Our small but mighty team of passionate chocolatiers is always dreaming delicious new creations. Dreaming up new delicious creations. We think you'll adore. Thank you for supporting our small family business. It truly means the world to us. And yes, we really do a happy dance with every order. We hope you all have a spectacular Halloween. So it is obviously made for Halloween. There's all the ingredients there. Look at that. So, you know, there's a lot there. I imagine palm oil might be in there, but I can't. I'll have a quick look to see. Maybe not, because it's just, you know, making them themselves. There we go. So I don't know. There's a lot going on there. I can't read. We'll be here all day for reading this all. I usually take too long anyway. So there's choc balls in there, 5%. So I'll just flash these up, I think, for each one, and then they can be referenced later. Basically, I think that's the best way to do it, because otherwise, as I say, we'll be here for quite some time. So there you go. This is the Count's Mint Crunch. A bit less in that one. The sticky, the toffee apple. That one there. So as I say, I'll just flash it up with a bit less in there. Bit bigger writing. Okay. So these can be, you know, perhaps referenced later on or something like that. But there we go. Maybe we can look at them later. I don't know. Belgian white chocolate. Couverture. Mint cocoa 28.1. Alright, so goodness me, lots of nice stuff. So I'll probably have one segment of each, is the long story short, because we're going to look at loads of this one. This is the Boobery Delight. More Belgian white chocolate couverture. Again. Nice. Sounds impressive. Whether it is, I don't know, but it sounds nice. There we go. Look, a lot more going on in that one. Okay, so it's a kind of mini Halloween special, this one. As I say, you know, it's one of those. I thought I couldn't leave them hanging around for too much longer. I just thought I have to eat them, you know. There's a Ukrainian there. Hello, Andrew, by the way. Ukrainian chocolate brand called Millennium, who do rectangular bars in B&O. Yeah, I've seen those, Andrew. I've seen them actually. Yes, long rectangular bars in B&M, which are lilac coloured and look similar to milk. Yeah, they do seem to be a bit of a knockoff, don't they? I didn't get them because I thought they were a bit of a knockoff. On the train back from York, all the Xmas chocolate this year seems to be orange flavour, gingerbread. I've seen lots of that. We were talking about that before, gingerbread Maltesers. Yeah, does look to be the case. Do you have a nice time in York though, Andrew? How's it like? I do like York. It's a nice place there. I was there just a day trip. Quite easy to get in. I got some Ukrainian chocolate, a few chocolate bars. Did you see any Millennium bars while you were there, Scotty? Hope you're keeping well. Yes, yeah, not doing too bad, thank you, Lee. Very busy at the moment, unfortunately, but one of those. But yeah, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Galaxy clusters, I know, yes. Yeah, you did mention it before. We'll have to look out for them, definitely so. How are you doing, Lee? Hope you're doing well. Russian is a big Ukrainian brand. I bought the equivalent to Milka by Mondelez bars. It was a strange place indeed. Let's see. Interesting though, it's very different, especially with the chocolate situation. I got one of those bars today, Andrew. So Alan's already got one of the Millennium bars. £2, salted caramel peanut variety. Maybe I'll give them a review then. I thought they were just a bit, maybe not worth getting, but... Good to see you, Rick. How are you doing? How are you doing, Rick? No, not late at all. Only just started. How's things going, Rick? How are you doing? In my stash, I've got M&S Lemon Turkish Delight bar. That sounds quite nice. Might have to look out for those. I need to go to M&S again. It's always a dangerous place to go. I keep saying this, don't I? All good for you, Lee. I'm glad to hear, Lee. Glad to hear. It's been a while since I saw you last, so yeah, glad to see you're doing okay. Sometimes when people, you don't see them regularly, you think, oh, they're still watching the channel and things. But glad you're still around. Really good. Right, so I think we've got to get into these, haven't we? We've weighed them all. We've done this. We've done that. So it's obviously, one of them. Right, we'll get the... goodness me. Right. This is going to be... well, let's say, I'm expecting a lot of 5 stars here. I think if any are lower than 5 stars, I'll be surprised. But you never know. You never know. We've got to... I think we'll leave the mint one till last, I think, because it is mint. I think that will be a dangerous one to start with, for sure. Anyone got any preferences like to see first? So we've got pumpkin spice, spooky forest gatto, blueberry delights, witch's brew, toffee apple, death by chocolate. Yeah, look at this. I love the colours as well. It's a lovely, beautiful set of chocolate, isn't it? It looks really nice. I like the colours of them. Library of chocolate, that really nice. Lovely library of chocolates. Hello, Skywalk. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Skywalk. Good to see you. Yes, glad the hair's still looking good. Watching snooker, believe it or not. No one knows what it is in Korea. Yeah, oh yes, it's relatively popular in the UK, snooker, relatively. 2 Scottish players playing at the moment. Sure Scotty is John Higgins. Yes, John Higgins. Yeah, I know. Was it the Wizard of Wishaw? John Higgins, isn't he? Yep, there we are, you see. Oh dear, I think he's from Edinburgh, isn't he, John Higgins? But yes, well, who's the other Scottish one? Is it the ginger-haired guy? It's Graham Dott as well from Scotland, isn't it, as well? Alan McManus. Yes, he's losing at the moment, so I see. He was good back in the day, but I think he's quite he's not as young as he was. Had a Marks & Spencer Victoria sponge. How was it? Was it worth the extra cost? I imagine it wasn't cheap. Marks & Spencer's. Yeah. How was the week going? Not too bad. Very busy. Well, to be honest, quite a busy one this week actually. I've only managed to publish one video. It's been very hectic actually. Been very busy, but not bad. Other than that, I'm alive, so that's not bad. How about you, Rick? How's it going? I've seen a few bars in Turkey that are available here, like the Nutty Max pistachio. Nutty Max. I bought a bar that's exactly the same as McVitie's Gold bars. Alright, Nutty Max. I've got that down there actually, Scotty. The Nutty Max pistachio. I've got it. I think I bought it probably in B&M, maybe or something like that. Nutty Max pistachio. There we go. Yes. I don't normally. Sometimes I don't bother with ones like because there's so many of them. I've got so many things to review anyway. But it's one of those. Yes, John Higgins lives not far from where you live. I see. Maybe you have to keep going to the local snooker club, Scotty, and so you can get a game in. Imagine you might do quite well against you. Did you get your sound? Yes, I have, Rick. I have. I've not opened it. I've not had time to do it yet. So hopefully at some point soon I will. But I have got it. I have got it. So it's on the pile of things I need to do. But so is the Optimus Prime and the Bumblebee. So I've not got much time and I've not got much space. So space and time, Einstein would, hopefully he could sort my issues, but unfortunately he's dead. So, but anyway, there we go. So we'll have a look at the latest pumpkin spice. Let's have a see. What do you think of the soundwave though, by the way, Rick? Is it? Are you enjoying it? I wish you got the other 2 cassettes or the other one, which I can't remember which one's coming with it. I think there's 3, isn't there? Maybe 2. Please get Frenzy Rumble, Ravage, Rat Bat, and Laser Beacon Buzzsaw. We should have all those really. But all right, maybe we could make them with the old from Bricklink or something like that. That's obviously so. Right, we've got the capture here, so we'll start with the old pumpkin spice. Why not? So it doesn't really give you a description on it. Probably nice if it did. We'll just say on the back slightly. We'll come back. I guess we are coming back to these. Belgian white chocolate couverture. It's just all the ingredients, actually, isn't it? It's not really a description. Okay, but basically pumpkin flavour, I imagine. I imagine there's pumpkin involved in here somewhere. Alright, let's see how we do then with this. So we'll give it a bit of an open down here. Maybe I should have saved them for Halloween special, but to be honest with you, I don't know. What can you do? Alright. I'd have to have them lingering around for over a month. I mean, could I handle that? I don't think I could. Okay, so there you see it's like a 6x4 bar. I think they're all going to be the same. They probably use the same mould for all of them, I imagine, but you never know. Okay, I don't know whether it's worth me showing you down here, really. It's nicely sealed here. Nice foil. It's like a mini tape. Right, let's try and... Nice foliage, actually. I quite like it. Let's see. Maybe I should just be showing you up further higher, maybe. These big layers bars remind me of the Chocolate Smith bars. What are those, Scotty? I've not heard of them before. Chocolate Smith bars. I can't open this. It's got like some sellotape which I can't see, and it's just the foil's quite thin, and it's just and it's just difficult to open. Okay, well it seems to be double layered actually. I'm kind of going through a top layer here, not like a double layer of foil. Almost seems to. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so this one's a white chocolate one by the looks of it. Goodness me. Wow. You can see if I can show you down there, but maybe I should just show you up here, I don't know. Look at that, looks beautiful, look at that. Goodness me. Oh, that looks very nice indeed. Now you can see underneath, there's obviously some kind of shenanigans going on, because if I'll show you the bottom of it, you can see there's two big blobs there. Now I don't know what that's about. Does that mean they only the big part of it? Maybe it's like two big biscuits or something. But does that mean there's nothing else in the rest of the chocolate? I don't know. I have to investigate that. But that clearly does look suspicious, doesn't it? Like there's two things there that aren't present somewhere else. Alright, so we are going to have trouble keeping on top of all this, especially with all this foil. Yes. The one I had comes with two cassettes, like Laserbeak and Ravage. I think that's probably the one I've got as well. Yes. It's a chunky boy indeed, it certainly is. Goodness me, we're going to get through all 7 of these today. It smells nice. That actually does smell like it's got some kind of spice on it. It really does. You can see there. Very nice. You could kill someone if you get hit in the head with that one. I know. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, honestly. Oh dear. Alright, let's give it a bit of a snap. So there's obviously some kind of biscuit action going on in there, or something. Let's try snapping it down the middle, shall we? Oh, goodness. Alright, look at that. It's like a whole biscuit in there. You see, it's literally a biscuit in there. Goodness me. So that's what those two things are. There's two massive and half a bit. You can see it's half a biscuit at the end there, actually, can't you? You can see it isn't actually empty. There is half a biscuit at the end. You can just about make that out, can't you? So that's pretty good. But goodness me, I can't. And then eat the evidence. But yeah, this is it. It's like one of those perfect crimes, isn't it? It's a perfect crime. Would love to try that one. Yeah, they're basically handmade in this store. Well, it's not really even a store. I don't really know what it is. Yeah, so basically they sell it quite quickly because there's just a few of them, and they just make them, as batch as they can, I think. So there we go. But yeah, let's give it a go. Then. So there's obviously, as you can see, the full biscuit there. I'm not really sure how best to eat this. Should I just bite into it? I think I'm just going to bite into it. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, let's see. I'm going to break my teeth and stuff. Let's see. Goodness me. Goodness me. I know. I should have made this R-rated, this video, I think, shouldn't I? Oh dear me, well that's very nice. I've got to be careful because I'm going to have to try every single one of these, so I can't be eating too much of this. I will obviously force myself to finish up, but goodness me, it's lovely. It's got like a ginger biscuit in it. It must be a ginger biscuit, I think. I don't know if it's biscoff, it tastes like sort of gingery. I'll have another, but I'll force myself. It says happy noises again. I know, goodness me. I know. No. It's very nice. It's got like it's got a gingery spice flavour to it. It tastes like ginger biscuits almost, but the ginger biscuit's not hard. Don't like the ones you get usually in the sort of the packs. It's quite a bit more softer, so it's obviously not. It's easy to eat basically. You're not going to have to be careful with it. I'll say there's the ingredients again. There's loads going on there, so feel free to probably pause it at some point and later on to see it. But basically, it tastes like a ginger biscuit covered in caramel, with white chocolate surrounding it, Oh goodness me! You have to be careful of first chocolate syndrome, of course. But you can see there. So it's basically like a white chocolate, and there's just caramel on top. So it's not quite as jam-packed as you'd think. I don't think it's got. As I say, if you can see there, there's no ginger biscuit in this one. So you can see it's just sort of like a bit of a cavity, and with the sort of caramel on top. It's still lovely because that spice is so nice. Yeah, white chocolate's good as well. It's just really nicely spiced. It tastes really sort of, I don't know, it's just really well spiced. I can't quite describe it really. Let's see if we can see what spice is in here, because like I say, ginger biscuit's in there, but I think it's like sort of cinnamon. Cinnamon's obviously quite a strong flavour. See cinnamon there, cinnamon extracts, ginger of course, nutmeg as well. Yeah, I can definitely taste nutmeg. Clove extract, I'm not sure about that, if I can taste that, because I don't know what it is really particularly, but well yeah, ginger, cinnamon and nutmeg are definitely present in there. Wowza. Very nice indeed, very nice. Were those a bit pricey? Yes. They're about £12 each, Rick. So there's quite a lot of money gone into these, I must say, and I got carried away because I should have only got 4 of them, basically, and I got 6 of them, and then I missed one and got a further one as well, and I'd already put the order in for the others. So spot on, yes, not too bad at all. I'm going to, you know what though, I'm going to be fussy, I'm going to be picky. This one I feel like it's other than the fact, I mean, it's got lots of nutmeg and cinnamon and stuff like in it and things like this, and the biscuit's very nice and crunchy, but it's only really biscuit and caramel, you know, and then of all the spices on top. The white chocolate's nice, but it's not blowing me away, I don't think. So I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5 this one. Very nice indeed though, you know, very nice indeed. But I feel like without the biscuit, there's not much going on in it really. I've seen some of their other stuffs, and they are quite, you know, full on. So this one, still nice, still very nice indeed. But I feel like, you know, without the biscuit there, I don't know. There's not loads going on. But all right, let's see. I do have a cloth here to try and keep things, you know, keep things relatively clean. It's just it's gonna be difficult. All right, let's give the black forest gatto, spooky forest gatto even. Right, I go. Loads. I mean, look at that. It's ridiculous. I mean, look. This one might have more in it. So let's have a see. So quite. I don't know where I should open it further up. Really. I'll open it down here because just because. Oh goodness me. So I don't know. Yes, I don't recommend buying as many as I have. Really, I should. It's because I got the channel really. Maybe I should actually make this a business so I get, I don't know, whatever tax relief I would get if it was a business, but I haven't done that, so maybe I should have done really, the amount of money I spent on this chocolate. But anyway, there we go, my mistake. Don't know whether it would be worth it or not, to be honest with you, but alright, so quite difficult again. The foil is quite difficult to get off, and I don't think you could easily reseal this, which is a bit of a shame. Wow, goodness me, look at this one. Oh, goodness. Alright. Okay, so just show you it's here. So again, they've got the same mould. The moulds are not anything too, you know. But there we go. So we'll give a bit of a, just before we do this one, let's give it a bit of a measure with a caliper, shall we? Why not? So you can see how tall it is. There you go, about 1.8 centimeters there in between the segments. At 1.6 on the width. We'll see if the you know, can't really accuse. It'd be a bit harsh to accuse a family company of shrinkflation and things, but nonetheless. 7.6, we'll keep a track of it. Alright, and then the other on the length. See, oof, I can't close this now. Alright. Okay, there we go. About 1.5. 15 centimetres even. Okay. Alright, so they're all roughly going to use the same. I'm not going to measure all of them. Okay, let's give this one a go. Let's move this foil out the way. I'd say the foil, I think, would be better if it was a bit thicker because it's so thin. You know, don't think I'm going to have trouble rewrapping these, I think. But alright, let's give it a snap. In fact, let's see. There's nothing obvious on the bottom of this one. Oof, goodness me. There we go. Look at that. It's basically a cake inside a chocolate bar. It's just ridiculous. No, so there is a bit of a cherry cream in there. I think you could see it at the top. As you look, it's you know, it's not quite the red that it was on the picture. it kind of has seeped into the sponge a bit, I think. So, doesn't smell as cherry-like as I thought it would. But I'm assuming this is Black Forest Gatto, basically. So it should have cherries in there. Spooky Forest Gatto. Let's have a see. There's loads of ingredients there. I mean, I can't, hard to see. Presumably somewhere in there there is cherry somewhere, but I can't see. Oh well, we could be here all day looking for that. I can't see it easily, so okay. Let's give it a taste then. I think that's the important part. Goodness me, how nice. Looks gorgeous. Oh, well. Where to go, where to start, where to nibble. Let's nibble a bit on this corner here. Why not this corner there? It's a lovely, lovely nice sponge. Goodness me. It's very nice. Actually, I would say, yes, it's not sure what that is. Shows black cherry, does it say? Ah, shows black cherry, yes. I didn't see it, but thank you, Rick. Thank you for noticing. I couldn't see it. I would say though, it's not massively cherry-like. Let's have a see. You see it there. It's sort of like a cherry topper. You know what? It's still lovely, but cherries. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I didn't realise at first, but yes, I did see. Thanks, Big. Sorry about that. But yes, you know what? I don't know. I'm not getting much cherry from this at all. The sponge is quite nice. I don't think the topper's doing much for me though. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. The chocolate's nice again, of course. It's a nice chocolate. But yeah. It is all nice, by the way. This is still nice. But it's not blowing me away, that one. It's quite, I don't know. I don't really feel like I taste the cream on the top. The sponge is a bit, not much of, it's nice, but it's not. It's just a sort of regular cake. I'm not really getting much of a cherry flavour in this one. It's lovely texture, though, because it's quite soft. You bite into it, and it's like a crack of the chocolate. It's got a lovely crack to it, but I'm not really getting much flavour. If you asked me what this flavour was, I wouldn't really get Black Forest Gatto from it. I'm not really getting much cherry at all from this one, so bit of a disappointing one, this one. I'll say that cream on the top, I'm not really sure is adding too much. Yeah, bit of a, not, it's still nice, but a bit of a, I don't know, I was expecting 5 stars across the board here, and this one I think is a bit, considering what it is, I don't know. I think the average chocolate's 3 out of 5. This is a lot better than that, really. I think it'd be a bit harsh to say it's not. I don't know. Well, I'm tempted. I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5 for that one. It's just not. There's just not really any cherry there at all. It's very there's not really cherry. The sponge doesn't taste of particularly anything, and I don't think anything else is adding that much to it. The sponge is quite nice and things, but yeah, a bit disappointing that one. I must say, a bit disappointing that. Still nice though and everything. It is still very nice, but consider what's in it and what should be there and all the flavours, disappointing. Greetings everybody, hope you're doing well. Good chocks today, I see. Yes, thank you, Joe. Great to see you. Great to see you, Joe. Yeah, and some certainly are some very very nice chocks today. Very nice, some very indulgent ones, it must be said. Although so far, I think we've I don't know, hit or miss so far. One of them was very nice, but the other one, I don't know. Are you going to eat all 7 of them in these a day or two? Probably not. I might have to hand them out to people and things like this, yeah. But I'll try, Rick. I will certainly make an attempt. How are you doing, Joe? Good to see you. How's things in Brazil today? Alright, let's try the old Blueberry Delight. So I'm assuming this has got berries in it as well. Let's see. Quick look at that. Alright. I can't see coconut fat. I can't see any whole egg. I assume it's blueberries. I'm not sure though, but I can't see anything obvious in there. Nice if it did have a bit of a description on it. I think it would be good. It's got carmine in there though, so not suited for vegetarians. This one, so do bear this in mind, everyone. It's crushed beetles basically. All right, but there we go. I guess it's suitable for a Halloween bar. Yes. All right, let's give this one a go. Goodness me, I'll tell you what, they are filling you up, these ones. They are hefty. I have to be careful. Alright, Blueberry Delights. Let's see what this one's about. But yeah, I do think it could do with a bit of a description on it. Maybe I should tell them that. But I think it'd just be good to, just an overview of what it is, because they've done individual wrappers. I didn't know if they did individual wrappers or not, so they could easily do a description just to say what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, you're more likely to know if you bought this yourself, because I'm buying them for the reviews, but I think it's still good to say what it is. Yes. From Evolved Smiling Burns, I'm surprised at long list of ingredients. I know, it is quite a lot, isn't it, Alan? It is quite a lot, I must say. Yeah, I must say, there's a lot there. You'd think it'd be less, wouldn't you? But I don't know, but it might be that because they're using, I don't know if they make, like, say the biscuits, for instance, maybe, they might not make them, maybe they don't make all their own stuff, I don't know, maybe they kind of put it together, I don't know, really. But like you say, it is a long list. I think that's a good observation, Alan. You would expect it to be quite small, wouldn't you, even though there's a lot going on. So I do wonder if they're using pre-bought stuff and just making the bars. I feel like that's probably what they're doing, maybe, because in a lot of them they do use like other chocolate bars, or it looks like they do. So that they'll have Kinder, like Kinder Buenos in and stuff like that. So I think that's probably what they do, and I think that might be why. All right. So it's one of them. Okay, so this one here, Boo Boo Delight, we've got. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to open the whole thing all the way this time, I don't think. I'm going to keep it half in like this. Hope you don't mind that. I normally do open the whole thing, but I think it's, yeah, but you can see, well, I don't know, should I do it? I don't know. Alright, maybe I will. Maybe I will, okay, I will, because I think we need to see what's going on. So you can see on this one, seems to certainly have something in those segments, doesn't it? Okay. Alright, let's give it a snap. It's already broken down there. Oh, look at that. It's like a big, some kind of cake, isn't it? Look at that, like a sponge cake there again. You can see there's some kind of darkness on top. I presume that's like some kind of berry or cherry or something. This looks a bit more like it, doesn't it? So you can see each one of those toppers is a cherry of some kind. Yeah, it sounds like they're using external sources. Yeah, I think they are. Especially when you see, as I say, those biscuits and things. I think they are. I don't think it's a problem, but as you say, it's. You normally don't expect that, do you? I think. I wish the Kit Kat still had foil then inside of sleeve. I know it was good, that wasn't it? Yeah, the ones here are just inside the single wrapper. They like that a bit like that here now, Rick. I think sometimes you can get them in the foil, sometimes you can't. I think it can depend sometimes. There was a bit of an outcry at one point about it. All right, let's give this one a go then. Let's see. It's a shame I don't have the actual descriptions for this. I can't really, because of the website as well being a bit funny. It's hard to actually find the descriptions as well because you can't click on them anymore. But all right, let's give this one a go. Oh wow, it's so soft and I'll tell you what, that is a nice sponge, that. I mean, I know it's only sponge, but it's a nice sponge. Goodness me. It's like a bit coconutty. Bit of marzipan in there as well. I think this actually was one of them. Was a cherry bakewell, and I think this is that. It's a bit almondy. Let's say bits of marzipan-y. Yeah, it's like a sort of cherry bakewell chocolate bar. This basically. Oh, goodness me. That is pretty nice, that actually. That sponge is lovely. That's a lovely sponge. It's a really nice, soft, fluffy sponge. It's a nice sort of almondy taste. It's basically cherry bakewell in the bar. This one's very nice. As I say, it's quite subtle. The white chocolate accompanies it. It doesn't really sort of dominate it in any way, but it's a lovely. Yeah, I don't know whether. So I can't really taste like a cherry as such. It's almost like a sort of bit of jam or something rather than maybe like a cherry jam or something. It's not as strong as I would like it to be. I think it'd be nice if it was a bit stronger, the cherry part. But it's very nice. The sponge is lovely. It tastes like a cherry bakewell. But I just wish the cherry was a bit more prominent, I think. So, but you kind of see it there. It's not quite. It's there, and it looks like it's quite substantial on the bottom bit as you look at it. But it's more like the top bit, I think, when you actually go to eat it. It's just not quite. Substantial enough, but it does taste like a nice cherry bakewell. I'm assuming that is the cherry bakewell one anyway. Maybe it's not after all that, but it does seem that way. Yeah, looks like a pie, a good one. It's very this is it, Charlie. They've kind of done a bit of their own baking in these ones, I think. Out of curiosity, is there a shelf life? Yes, there is. It does tell you a sell by date. It's quite long actually, Alan. I was expecting it to be weeks, but it's actually in the month. So you can see here it's like 15th of the 11th, 25. So most of them are in November, which is not bad actually, considering they're meant to be Halloween bars as well. So it's not bad at all, that. But yeah, they're basically nice and cakey. That one, that was very nice, that one. I think it needs a bit of a bigger cherry though, that one, to be honest with you. So I think for me that one, I think a 4 out of 5, that one. It was a lovely sponge actually, and it wasn't bland, it was a nice sponge. It was just really nice. A really nice sort of interpretation of a cherry bakewell actually. But unfortunately the cherry part of it was the bit that was missing. It was a bit too AWOL there. But it had a nice almondy taste. The white chocolate would work pretty well. I was impressed with that one. Very nice indeed. Okay, let's try. Goodness me, quite a lot. Goodness me, a lot here. Nice to use paper wrapper too. They're not bad, Ray. We were just saying before, actually, Chad, that there are a lot of ingredients in these. I showed them off at the start of the show for each of them. I'll probably show them off a bit more as I do this. But you know, so considering the sort of, this one's not too bad, but it's still a lot there. But some of them have really got a lot of small print, like this one here. Look at that. I think it's because they're using off-the-shelf stuff as well. You know, so it's not quite as it's, you know, basically it's a bit I don't know, they're using actual real, you know, other products, not just making everything themselves. So they're like throwing chocolate bars or other biscuits or something. But not too bad so far. So let's have a see. I think let's do Witch's Brew Spooky Edition. Why not? Okay, let's see what this one's about. I'll say it's a shame that they don't tell you what they are on the you know, yeah, but never mind. But very nice indeed. Yeah, but it would be nice if they told you what was it, you know, just briefly what's in it, you know, as in this is a cherry bakewell inspired chocolate bar or something like that, you know, because you can't really easily tell from this one. But we've got Belgian white chocolate, and yeah, it's very difficult to determine the rest of it. That's what we got, Belgian white chocolate. So yeah, vanilla and stuff like that in it, but yeah. Alright, let's have a see. Give this one a bit of an open. As I say, I wish the foil as well was easily resealable, but it's not because of the way they've done it. This Belgian white chocolate, hang on, look at this. So milk chocolate at the bottom. We've got a white chocolate on the side, look at that. Okay. Goodness me, so an interesting one, this one. I think they obviously make the chocolate, well, I don't think they make the chocolate themselves, but that's the bit they add for sure. The rest of it could be stuff they've made. I assume that they make the cake themselves, you know, if there's cake in it. This looks very nice, doesn't it? Look at that. Goodness me, okay. Right, let's give it a snap. Let's see what this one's about. What's it called again? This is Witch's Brew. Oof. Goodness me, look at that. Goodness me, okay. Wow. That looks extreme as well, doesn't it? So thick milk chocolate at the bottom there. Just a massive slab of milk chocolate. Witch's Brew. Yes, alright, so don't know what this one actually is, but it seems to have cake in it, and it smells very very toffee-like. Coffee-like actually. It smells like coffee. Bit of a coffee smell coming from it. I wonder if it's like a tiramisu type of affair going on. Yes, lovely thick layer there. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I mean, you live up to the name Layers chocolate there, don't you, for sure. This one I think it might be tiramisu, you know. It smells very coffee-like. Yes. Seems so easy. Well, this is a good thing actually, Joe. The good observation there. I mean, they're really big, and I must admit, but they are quite light and fluffy in places, well, because of the cake and things, you know. But yeah, look at that. Wow, let's give this a try. I think this might be tiramisu, so. Yes, it's not quite, you know, sort of biscotti in there or whatever, but interesting one, this one. Interesting one. Again, I think it's okay. I think it's style over substance end of this one. It smells very nice. Can't quite determine what the biscuit. It's like a sort of biscotti, what do they call those? Biscotti or whatever. It's a bit like one of those, but a bit sort of softer. Because this is a bit coffee-like. I guess it's I don't know. I'm a bit underwhelmed by it again. I mean, it's nice, but it's I feel like I'm expecting 5 stars every time I taste these. Maybe I should be, you know, but yeah. It's a thick milk chocolate. You can definitely tell there's some kind of coffee involved with that. It is obviously an interpretation of tiramisu, and it's nice, but I feel like it's a bit lacking in the flavour department. It's got a lot of really thick milk chocolate there. But I don't feel like I'm really getting much of a tiramisu. I feel like I'm just getting, you know, I don't know. It's sort of biscotti or whatever, sort of, I guess, soaked in like a coffee cream or coffee liqueur or something. They do like great products, but very odd that there is no description on the packaging. Maybe an oversight. Yeah, we'll have to mention this. I think I might sort of message them about that, because it would be nice to know exactly what they are. And as I say, I can't really, other than the name, I can't look at the website, because the website just has basically a picture of them like this, but it doesn't tell you what it is. It just says Witch's Brew. So maybe I should have made a note of it, but I assumed it would be quite obvious what to do. So bit of a difficult one. Are these UK exclusive? Yes, basically they're just like a family company Jow, basically, and they just make their own stuff. So very limited runs of things. I don't know how limited, but they sort of sell out quite quickly. So I managed to just flukily catch them when they weren't. I just checked randomly and they were there, so I got them straight away. But they're all sold out now. They might come back in for a bit more before Halloween, which is what the base for. But yeah, that one. Oh, I don't know. It's It's okay. I don't think it's blowing me away, that one. I think it's another 3.5 out of 5, that one. It's not bad. Yeah, Witch's Brew, that one was. But it's a bit, I don't know. I don't feel like the tiramisu part really comes across strong enough, really. So I don't know. I think the first one, the pumpkin one, of course, we did have first chocolate syndrome possibly there. But yeah, we'll see. Toffee apple then. We got toffee apple next. Let's have a look. If I can show you. Let's see. So this one, we know what this one is. It's literally toffee apple, so no funny names. So we know what that one's about. I think it's actually got little sweetie bits in this one, I think. So we can expect, I think it's apple and apple flavoured little crunchy sweets. From remember, this is one I ordered last. I forgot to order. It sounded really good, or at least it sounded quite distinct. The others sounded a bit like they were just normal ones they just repurposed for the time of year, like the tiramisu and things, and they just called them something interesting. But this one actually seems like it's actually specific for Halloween. So, all right, let's have a see. Again, I kind of wish the foil was a bit more resealable. You can see they've like put tape on it, and as you see there, and it's just quite a thin foil, so you can't really easily reseal these. Well, look at this. This one's this one's going to be quite good. This one's going to be a bit up my street, I think, for sure. Let's have a see. So you can kind of see they do a bottom and then they fill it with on the top. You'll see there where it's sort of curled over the top. So it's obviously like a bottom that they do. They cover. Look at all that crunch in there. Goodness me. There's lots going on in this one. They come very well packaged, by the way. They come like double bubble wraps and all sorts. There's no way these are going to get damaged in the post. So they really, I mean, they're literally like covered like twice with this, and then on the outside they've got an even thicker like wrap of this. So like, you know, they're really well wrapped. You know, and in a bigger box as well. Okay, let's see how we do. Obviously, I don't have the calorie information for all these as well, because you know, let's give us a bit of a snap. Ooh, it's quite caving in actually when I'm pressing on this. I guess it's just caving in actually. I can't even snap it. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so you can kind of see maybe on this one. There's all these little red and green sweets in there. Quite a thick chocolate bottom there. It's quite difficult to show you this one, maybe on that side there, because it just caves in. The top's quite sort of not very strong. There you go, you can see there. It's like a green and a red candy pieces. Yes. They keep them small. Yes, well, as in, basically the small batches or whatever. Yes, basically, you know. That's the gist of it, yeah. So they don't do massive runs of them, so they don't run out of it, so they can't fulfill them all, basically, yeah. Yeah, the camera looks lovely, it does, it really does. I mean, that's the thing, they do look photogenic, they really do. Alright, let's give this one a go. Wow, it's like it's like got crunchy millions in or something like that, you know, those little crunchy sweets. It does taste quite apple. I think the sweets are flavoured apple basically, so they're sort of sweety, you know, apple flavour, and then obviously the caramel on top of that to make toffee apple, and a very thick chocolate base. Wow, it's very nice actually. It's very nice. It's quite crunchy. And so the all the sort of like the all the sweeties in there, the green ones there, for instance. The caramel's really good. It's really thick. Chocolate's really good and really thick as well. I feel like this one, because it's like sweeties and quite a false sort of flavour, you know, it's it's not a real, you know, it's like artificial sort of apple flavour. It'd be nice if it was, I don't know what they could do, but it'd be nice if it was a sort of, because the way they sort of put bakes into instead of sort of chocolate. It'd be nice if it was some sort of real apple in some way. I don't know what they could do if they could really do real apple, but you know what I mean. I feel like, but I can see what they've tried to do. If it's nice to say that the caramel in these is just ridiculously thick all the time, like Alan says, and it's it is really nice. It's quite tangy actually. I feel quite like it's sort of quite tarty. Overall, it's quite nice, but I feel like it's just a shame that the crunchy bits are a bit of an artificial flavour. Freeze-dried apple. I think that would be a good idea, Alan. Yes, if it did something like that, maybe. Yeah, something like that I think would work better. I feel like, I mean, it's hard to say because obviously an artificial flavour is quite strong, isn't it? But I feel like something like that, I'm sure they could do a better attempt at it. I feel like it's a bit, in this one, it's just a bit too artificial. But I can see what they've done, and I get it. You know, I get it, especially for Halloween and things. It's not bad though. It is a nice crunch. It's a nice flavour. It's quite distinct. It's quite thick chocolate as well. And the caramel works very nicely with it. I think it's a good. It's a good 4 out of 5. I think it's a good 4 out of 5. You know, but it's certainly, yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's just not quite there. You know, there's something not quite there about it. I feel like the first one was probably one of the. I mean, it could be again first chocolate syndrome. But I feel like the first one was so distinct and different, you know, and it quite had the advantages of all that the others haven't really, that the others either didn't manage to have. Where it had a nice cakiness to it, a nice sort of fresh sort of spiciness to it, and things like this. But it, but again, didn't kind of, you know, it still was lacking slightly. It wasn't a 5 out of 5. But all right, we've got Death by Chocolate now. I'm going to save the mint one till last, just because it's mint, of course. Now this one, surely this one must be the best. Death by Chocolate, surely. Here's what we're up against as well. Let's just we're doing this. There's lots of stuff in again. Death by Chocolate. Now, if I do pass away on camera, I apologise in advance. But hopefully it won't be that bad. So very chocolate fudge pieces there. Quite a lot going on. Choc balls, it says. Choc icing. Alright, so this might be the ultimate one. We'll see. Okay. It's got 2 more left as well. Doing quite well actually, really. You know. Oh goodness me. I'll tell you what though, even though I've not eaten loads and loads of them, they are still filling me up a bit. You can see there again, they've got the tape across. So yeah, I feel like you'd probably, I mean, I don't know, would you reseal these normally? I feel like the option should be there, shouldn't it, for such big chocolate bars? You know. One of the biggest lists I've ever seen, I know. I know Alan was commenting before, Jow, that for a family company you would expect them to not have such lots of ingredients. And I think it's literally because they're using other products in there, so they're listing other products that have been put in. So like they'll throw in like a, you know, like a Kinder Bueno or something like that. So it is a bit, so for being a home company, you're not really getting necessarily home ingredients unless it's kind of the cake they add in or something like that, I assume. I assume they make the cake and things. I assume they don't get that in from anywhere. But again, it is an assumption. Alright, so again, another quite thick bar. There's nothing too dramatic going on with this one. I feel like the ones where you can tell there's something going on tend to be the better ones from this company, and we can see through it that there's like a biscuit in there or something. I feel like these ones, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. What's this one about? Let's have a look. This one snaps again. When they've got a good snap, I think is a good sign as well. So it looks like it's just kind of brownie with caramel. It looks very nice. Look at that. It does. Goodness me, it does look very nice. They do tend to throw a lot of caramel in here. You can see there's like some kind of something there as well, biscuits or something. Okay, so it'd be nice to really have it, to know what was going on in them. But let's give it a taste. Wow, it's really soft on top again. Goodness me, this one. Very interesting. It's again quite a nice cake, actually, quite an indulgent cake, and I think the caramel really brings that out. There's something else going on there. Something quite. Goodness me. Wow. It's like a really strong. Where have I tasted it before? It's like a really strong chocolatey cream topper to it, or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. It's really interesting. See if we can kind of dissect this one a bit, so we can just get into it. There's something on top of it that I can't put my finger on. So I'm just trying to take the top off a bit on this one. Doesn't seem to be apparent actually what it was. I think it's got like a chocolate cream in it. It tastes a bit like, yeah, it does. I think it does. I didn't quite make that out. Hard to see it, but there's like a chocolate cream there as well, and it's really it tastes a lot. What's it taste like? It's a bit like a really nice sort of, you know, if you get like a sort of mini roll or something, it's got like a chocolate cream in it, and it's, you know, I wouldn't say it's too exquisite or too high end, but this one, it's like a really chocolatey, you know, rich version of that, you know, in a way. It certainly lives up to the name, Death by Chocolate. It's really chocolatey. I would say, I feel like the cake in this one, it's kind of letting it down a bit. It's not extravagant enough. The sponge I had, say for instance, with the Bakewell tarts or the one, it was really quite light and fluffy. Really, you could tell it was a nice sponge. This one, I don't know. I'm not really getting like a brownie. You know, I think this is basically like a brownie sponge, but I don't really get the browniness to it at all. It's just like a chocolatey sponge, and there's no like chocolate chips in there or anything else to sort of really bring it out as being like a brownie. And I feel that's the problem with this one. It's just the sponge just isn't quite interesting enough, and because it's quite prominent, there's quite a lot of it. You know, I mean, it's not, you know, yeah, I mean, there's some kind of bit there as well. I'll see if I can just eat that bit. Yeah, not really across as much. Maybe more than that, Joe, I think. But, well, the chocolate pot tends to be between 500 and 550, so I reckon it's probably averaging about 500 to 550. Well, there's a lot of cake in there, and cake tends to be a bit lesser calories. I'm not sure, but yeah, probably at least that I would have said. Yeah, I would have said so. Quite calorific, I think, for sure. But yeah, this one, I feel like the sponge is letting it down a bit. It's just not quite interesting enough. There's not enough in it. I feel like it needs like a sauce in it or something. There's a cream on top. I can tell there's something there, but again, it's blended in with the caramel a bit. I don't know. So it's not quite as good as I would like it to be, this one. So I think it's a 4.5. I'm going to say a 4 out of 5 for this one. I feel like it should just have something a bit more in it. Maybe it's the fact it's too chocolatey. Maybe. But that is Death by Chocolate, so I can't complain too much of that. But maybe it's something like that that's the problem, you know. Alright, well, let's see. Just these last bits. Why not? Alright, so interesting one of these ones. I feel like, generally, well, they are pretty nice, but there's just something. When I had the eggs, you know, well, I'll come to that in a bit. I'll come to that later. So let's try the mint one first. Lastly, so I've got the mint crunch one. This is the heaviest one. It feels very hefty, this one. I don't know why. I wonder if it's got like Viscounts in it or something like that, you know. It could have. The Viscounts, by the way, Jared, is like a sort of mint biscuit you get in here. You know, yeah, they're called Viscounts basically. Alright, let's have a look. Let's open this one up. So this is the last one. See how it goes. Goodness me. Oh. Right, okay. So I'm quite impressed with them generally though, as a whole. But as I say, I will come to the summary in a second. I have to try this one. I don't know whether the word. Well, I keep trying to go into the summary. I need to stop. I'll come in there. I'll come to that in a second. We'll finish this one off. Another milk chocolate one. think it definitely is an indulgence. I think I would certainly go for at least one of them just to try it out, you know, because they are so distinct and, you know, hefty and different. There's definitely something to be said about that. Alright, so we go. The big chunky. There's nothing too different going on here. Can't see anything on the bottom particularly. Might be a bit of a circle shape there. Could imply a Viscount. You can see there's a bit of a circle there going on. So I reckon they do have Viscounts in these ones. I reckon they do. I could be wrong. Something along those lines, I'll say, but there's definitely some kind of circle indentation here and here. I can't see it down here. Right, let's give it a snap. Okay, there we go, yes. You can see there, so there is a Viscount, but it's certainly something, isn't it? Yes. It's definitely good to support small businesses like this, yeah. And I wouldn't say these, none of them have been bad at all. I think some of them have not been quite as good as they should have been. But you know, but they've been certainly very nice. Certainly have. It's full of mint stuff, this one, you can see. It's like a mint fondant. And there's some kind of biscuit. I assume it's a Viscount. But I'd say, is it a Viscount? I don't know what it is. No, I would try and get it out, but let's try. I'll get it out of this one. Let's have a see. We can get it. We can pull the biscuit out. Yeah, it's not coming out properly. I can't tell for sure what it is really. It's not coming out. I think it's probably a Viscount, or maybe it's just trying to replicate a Viscount by having a small biscuit in. Let's give it a go. It's a very nice biscuit actually. It's really soft again. I think when they've put these biscuits in, I wonder if they make them themselves, you know, these biscuits, because they're really soft. You know, biscuits basically are usually quite, you know, relatively hard, aren't they? You know what I mean? Obviously some aren't, but the texture is just right for these biscuits where they've included them. I think that's there just for texture basically, but they have filled the rest of it with mint, like a mint fondant. It's quite solid. You can see it's quite solid mint fondant as well. It's not really runny. Not like an after eight. I think this is basically like a giant a giant interpretation of a Viscount biscuit, basically, this one. I think I'd like if the biscuit was all the way at the bottom rather than just a circle. I think it's better if it was, you know, all like that rather than just, you know, there's a bit too much fondant maybe in this. I think the biscuit would be better if it's like a layer at the bottom. And I think that's the case with the other one they did as well. I think that would have been better then as well. Yeah, this one is it's not massively minty actually. It's about all that mint fondant. It's quite a subtle mint flavour. It's more like it's almost like it's not that minty at all. I mean, I guess it's more mint than it's not mint, but it's not massively minty. It's perhaps enough though. It's perhaps enough, to be fair. This one is quite, again, it's like a larger version of something smaller that's perhaps a relatively reasonably, you know, interesting product. I think the best bit is the biscuit, but because it's not all the way across, I feel like it harms it really in anything. You know, it'd be better if that would be what brings this out of being a bit more interesting otherwise. Otherwise it just tastes a bit like just like a mint fondant covered in chocolate really. So I don't know if it's that special. You know, it's not a massive difference from just a fries, you know, fondant cream, whatever. And obviously a bit more crystally, not sort of liquidy. So it's okay, this one, but again, I don't know. Yeah, and the biscuit. It's a nice biscuit as well, but it's a weird one. This one, I feel like the components don't quite bring it, you know, result in something that special. Basically, I don't know why. I feel like there's something missing. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know. The biscuit's nice. It's a nice biscuit, but it's obviously just a biscuit, really. It's quite soft. And the mint's a nice fondant mint. It's not too strong. I was going to say it was perhaps it could be stronger, but I think it's probably about right, at least for me anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I think this one 3.5, 4. I think if the biscuit was all the way along the bottom, I think it would. You know, and I think it needs something else as well. If it was like that, maybe there'd be. You know, it would need something else as well to bring it up. I don't know what. So I think a 3.5 out of 5 for me, that one. It's still nice, but it's not quite, you know. I feel like a lot of these, the reason they're so sort of interesting is because of the size of them. But I think usually that does obviously help things. But I think in this case, the substance underneath it has not quite lived up to it. You know, I think with the eggs I did at Easter time, it did have the substance there. You know, it really did have it as well. It wasn't just all style. You know, I don't know if it's because they're bigger or something. I don't know. I don't think they are big. Well, they were a bit bigger actually. Maybe just that extra space for a bit more in it made all the difference. You know, but I think they've been the best one. Again, it could have been first chocolate syndrome. But I think the best one probably was the one at the very start. This one here, which had the big sort of biscuits at the bottom. But I think this was the most interesting one. They all worked together as well. It really was actually. It was, yeah. It wasn't just first chocolate syndrome. It did have really strong spice to it as well. But again, there was something a bit. It wasn't quite a 5 out of 5 though. So yeah, nice one really. You know, they're all interesting, but I feel like a lot of it is just about how big they are. You know, rather than what's in them this time. And I feel like a lot of them didn't have enough flavour in them, or they were just, you know, there was just something. Yeah, they were all nice and they were all tasty, but they just were. It was just, you know, some of them just felt like they were smaller things that had just been made bigger. You know, I don't know. I don't feel like I was getting the advantage of having something so big. Whereas when I did the layers eggs early in the year, I really felt like I was getting something a bit more special as a result of the size, because they fit more cake in or something like that, and it just seemed to be a lot better as well. The cake was a bit more. I don't know. It just all worked better. Maybe just the different flavours. I'm not really sure. So an interesting one, really. It's all very nice, but I feel like maybe if I was going to get these again, I think I'd probably stick to the eggs really that they do. And they did do them for Easter, Halloween as well this year. And I feel like maybe they just bring out something a bit more special, but they are more expensive, so it swings and roundabouts. Yes, I don't know. And because they're all, you know, the potential different every time as well. They'll obviously do a range of them. But whether they'll do the exact same ones next time, and if they do the same ones, whether they'll be the same. So obviously, you know, it could change year by year or whatever. So it's a difficult one. But I think overall, they are very nice, very indulgent, quite expensive. But I don't want to say they're a rip-off of what they are. I feel like they really are crammed. They're really heavy, you know, 200, 250 grams, bars each. And I feel like they are sort of handmade. You know, there's something special about them. But technically, they do get ingredients from other products and things. So, you know, they'll like throw in a Kinder Bueno in or something like that, but generally the rest of it is, you know, you can tell is not quite, you know, just all stuff off the shelf. So interesting one, but I think overall, yeah, I feel like I'm slightly disappointed with the taste outcome. I think they're all very indulgent, very interesting, very unique for what they are, but I feel like they could be, you know, some of them are just missing that sort of X factor, you know, something that just lifts them up. Sometimes the cake was just a bit too bland. Sometimes there just wasn't enough flavour there either on the other things that were there. You know, I feel like that the mint one, for instance, you know, just was biscuits and mint really. And I feel like if you have a Viscount, you know, you do get that. That's clearly what it was based on, but it just, I don't know, I don't feel like I was getting anything better than having just a Viscount, you know, and I feel like the Viscount's perhaps more concentrated, a bit more interesting, you know, just works a bit better generally, you know, no worse anyway. So there's that kind of thing going on, and I feel like the cherry bacon one could have been the best one, but there was just a lack of cherry in there, you know, it was just a real shame, you know. I mean, I guess they'd obviously put like something cherry like on top, a bit like a regular cherry bacon one. There's not much cherry, well, the cherry bacon has cherry inside it, doesn't it, you know, as well, so I think if they had that layer of cherry in there, I think that would have really worked, because the sponge was lovely, it was so soft and fluffy. But it just was lacking the cherry side. So I feel like they just were all not quite there, basically. I feel like they were all just not quite there. The closest one, as I say, was the one we did at the start, the pumpkin spice one. Very nice one, that one. You know, but again, it was just, because it was quite specialised, that one though as well, maybe that worked against it in a way. It was so sort of spicy and nutmeggy and things. I feel like it was, I don't know, it was what it was really, you know what I mean, but there was something, I feel like for me, it was just not quite as special as it could have been, but it was very close. And I said the cherry bacon one was very close as well, and I think if that cherry bacon one had a cherry layer, the cherry was just more present, I think that would have been good. The rest of them though, really, I feel were just a bit, you know, just, I wouldn't say average, but they weren't anything too special, I don't think. They just didn't feel like they had anything too special going on. They felt a bit too mundane. They were still quite, you know, none of them were a 3 out of 5, but they weren't really pushing the 4s in some cases, or if they were only just. So yeah, interesting one. But there we go, there we are. So quite a, I don't know, yeah, interesting one. But I think interesting. But I think for me, the cherry bakewell one, I think that was the blueberry one, was it? The blueberry pie, was it? I think. Which is brew. This is the problem. I can't tell what the, you know. I feel like I think it was the witch's brew one. I think maybe was the, you know, it was either that one or the blueberry delight. I think. Dropped it. Blueberry delight. Belgian white chocolate couverture. One with black cherries anyway. I know Rick spotted it before. It said black cherry. Could have been in this one. It does have palm oil in there. It says, by the way. But yeah, I think the basically the one that was based on a bakewell tart essentially, and also the pumpkin spice one, which I think I've lost the wrapper too. Yes, here we go. So that was those were the nicest ones, I think. Yes. They look very nice. Understandable about the price, I suppose. Yeah, well, they are all sort of hand done. Yes, they're not too ridiculous, all things considered. But yeah, you know. But yeah, they are. They're about £12 basically, so quite expensive, but interesting. You know, interesting. You've got to take one that catches your eye as well. I think there are lots of different flavours there. You know, really are. That was very good. Oh, thank you very much, Alan. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, let me know if you do manage to get one anyway. If you do go for them, I'm sure there'll be more available between now and Halloween. But yes. Very enjoyable. I hope you enjoy nibbling on them as the as the weekend progresses. This is it. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to be careful, basically, aren't I? You know, but they're gonna be very tempting. Very tempting indeed. I think for me, the bakewell tart one is one I think I'll be going back to the most. It just has such a nice, fluffy base. It didn't get the highest rating here, just for the lack of cherry, but it was. That's the one I think I'm tempted to go back by, and maybe the first one as well with the, as I say, yeah, the biscuits, what's it called? Pumpkin spice one. That was so nice. Yeah, so there we go. Hello, Final Flame. Yeah, you've missed everything, basically. We've just finished off. And Shuri too. We just finished off Shuri. Yeah, we're literally finished. I can't really. Yeah, I might have to get this one and catch up. Very interesting experience though. Basically, lots of lovely, thick, massive chocolate products. Your chocolate bars that are massively thick. You know, stuff like that. Ridiculous. You know. Yeah, you missed a lot of chocolate basically. Worth catching up on, I think. Worth catching up on. But yeah, long story short, the cherry bakewell one was very nice, and I think the pumpkin spice one very nice as well. They're all good in their own way, of course. But there we go. Good to see you, Final Flame. Good to see you, Shuri, as well. Yeah. Oh, yes, it's one of those. But I'll say maybe get on catch up. You know, we can sort of like skip through and get to the the results of those. But yes. Oh dear, well there we go. But it's great to see you all, by the way. Great to see you, Joe, of course. Great to see you, Rick. Great to see you, Scotty. Great to see you, Andrew, of course, as well. And Alan, of course. And Shuri and, yes, Final Flame. Great to see you both as well. And, oh yes, and Lee as well, right from the start. Hope you do well. Good to see you again, Lee. It really is good to see you again. It's been such a long time. Skywalker as well. Yes. Oh, of course, yes, with his good hairstyle. I want you to catch up. Definitely some thick chocolate, certainly is. Thick with 2 C's, I think, in this case. Goodness me, very, yeah, it was ridiculous, but very nice indeed. Oh, apologies, Shuri, I'm sorry you missed most of it, but yes. Oh, I know, honestly. Yeah, I know, one of those, unfortunately, yeah, one of those. But never mind, but there is a live for next week. I've done it for best limited edition. What? Yeah, it's a discussion one for next week. What's people's favourite limited edition chocolate products? Or maybe worst. Could even mention your worst ones. You know, no problem there. But yeah, we'll do that next week. Discussion 1, 4 o'clock UK time. Probably British summertime. Is it still British summertime next week? I think it will be, won't it? Yeah, it's the end of October it changes, isn't it? So yes. So yeah, so definitely see if you can catch that one, Final Flame, and Shuri, of course, as well. And everyone else also, it'd be great to see you there, of course, also, really will. So Alan, yes, Joe, Scotty, yeah, Lee, of course, yeah, Lee, if it turns out going to be nice. And Skywalker, Rick, of course, as well. And Andrew also, yes. Good to see Scotty back as well. Glad he's out and about. Yeah, take care, people. Yeah, thanks, Shuri. Great to see you as well, but I hope you're doing well, Shuri. And sorry I've... Oh dear, but yes, it was a relatively long one today as well. It was a relatively long one. It was just 10 past 5. We would go for an hour and 10 minutes as well. So, you know, goodness me, an hour and 10 minutes of intense chocolate action. Happy weekend, everyone. Thank you very much. I'll have a great one yourself, Alan. If you do get any of these, anyone, let me know what you think. I'm not being sponsored by them, as I say. I bought them out of my own money, this and the other. You know, yeah, interesting. I would recommend getting 1 or 2, basically. I wouldn't recommend getting any more than that. Just really focus on the ones you want and get those. I don't think it's a good idea to get more. But nonetheless, you know, it's one of them. Have a peaceful weekend, everyone. Oh, thank you very much. You too, Joe. Have a great one yourself. And yeah, and have a good one. And I'll see you next week. Fingers crossed. Marking your diaries, everyone. 4 o'clock next week. I'll see you then. Bye for now. See ya.